My bad. I was talking about Mike Budenholzer. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey, somebody, what man say? Who's got it better than us? Somebody's got it worse. I mean, damn, we got our ass whooped tonight. But hey, as long as Mike Budenholzer getting that ass clap to them, cheek clap, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it's crazy. My bad. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Bucks losing tonight. My goodness. 145, 124. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? 145, 124 to the play-in Atlanta Hawks. That's where this thing is at now. You're losing to the play-in Atlanta Hawks. You got people, hey, listen, don't get mad at me because the Bucks suck. I don't know why. This has been the most negative people have been. I don't play the game. Let me tell you something. I don't play. Now, I ain't dropped not one pass. I ain't missed not one defensive assignment. I ain't missed not one defensive rotation. I ain't missed 1 3. Don't get mad at me for providing information. My bad. Y'all getting mad at me because these dudes suck. 145, 124. Come on in the room. Yeah, I can't do the doctors. I doctor stuff. I just can't do it tonight. Can't do it tonight. Can't do it. But come on in the room. We are live. Scream to the crossover group trick. I was third.
Chris King.
Justin.
145, 124. That was the final tonight at home. Pride night. No pride from the Bucks on Pride night. I know Todd will be happy I said that for him. Man, dog, this is pathetic. I mean, this is a pathetic showing with a fake comeback at the end that I didn't really believe in. This was probably the first time in the last, I don't know, it's been a while. Like I watched. I'll be totally honest with you guys, because tonight's not even about these games like this, and we'll talk about some of the defensive issues. Get at us on Twitter at TCIIESQ. Get at us in the chat here. We see your chat. We'll talk to you in a second here. But this isn't about like X's and O's and who's when you lose by 20 to a playing team, it's like really breaking down where I'm questioning at a macro level. That's what we haven't been talking about a reset at some point. That I'm questioning at a macro level versus a micro level when you lose by 20 to the Atlanta Hawks. When you give up 145 at home, I have different questions versus like individual performances and who's doing what and how. I have different types of questions because it just shouldn't happen. And again, it goes further than one guy. Like, I'm going to put a lot of blame. I'm going to talk about Brook Lopez a lot tonight, but I reckon it goes further than Brook Lopez. I'm having issues with Doc Rivers. It goes further than Doc Rivers tonight. Torian Prince, it goes further than Torian Prince. Even Kuzma, who ended up with a decent night offensively, at a hot start. Defensively, it goes further than Kyle Kuzma. It goes further than Giannis. This is a collective effort right here that you have to get into, that you have to talk about, and you have to figure out where this team is. They were on the analysis has his analysis thing, whatever. He did a live show the other night. And I guess they were out there. The player Kuzma showed up. Giannis showed up after having a baby. Congratulations to him and his family with a new addition to the group. But they're out there. I don't know who else was out there. And I guess, they're talking about how we got 2 months to change our lives. And it sound good. It sound good that you got that you go ahead into the playoffs in 2 months. It sounds real good until you come back out and you give up one. That don't look like you got 2 months to change your life. You give up 20 points. You give up a 20 point. You lose by 20 to the Atlanta Hawks. Probably should have been more. You have 145 at home. That's not like we're here. We're ready. That's not that. Like, I think this fan base is looking for anything to believe in, anything to grasp hope on. And you didn't provide that tonight. Apparently, there were some boo birds that people were booing. I didn't necessarily hear. That's what I was going to say. This is probably the first time about midway late through that third quarter. And again, the numbers, you put 124. Bucks records incredible when they put up over 120. It didn't happen tonight. But this was probably the first time late in the third. The TV was almost background noise to me. I watched it, but I wasn't really watching it. Like I said, the fake comeback. I looked up. They got it down to 12, and I said, I mean, literally, so I was like, all right, let me lock back in. And the second I start to lock back in, it's cooked. But that's what happened tonight. Let's do a game recap. 145-124. Bucks lose it. Giannis 31-9-5. Get your numbers, big dog. Get your numbers. Might as well get your numbers. We're gonna lose. You might as well. Hey, I'm leaving here with something. Get your numbers. 31-9-5 from Giannis. Did he have 4 turnovers? He had 5 turnovers tonight. Kyle Kuzma, 25.6 boards, 1 assist, 8 of 17. He was 4 of 9 from 3. Had 1 turnover. His first quarter was some of the best I've seen Kyle Kuzma play offensively. Had 14 points in the first. Cooled down considerably after that, but finishes with a decent night. Brook Lopez.
Say it. Let's do it.
I don't know what I'm watching, man. I think he is I think it's a little bit of him and Taurean Prince. I think those two guys are like and more so Brook Lopez. I think he is the reason for the slow starts. I really do. I think there's a place for him to get into the games, and you have to play him because he does have some talent. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but I really think if you get him running, and that's the Hawks are. They're a fast, athletic team. His matchup was shooting open threes to start the game. And the Bucks, Bucks shot like 88% from the field in the first quarter, and you're only up like 6 or whatever it was. And if you had played any type of defense at all, that's a 15-point lead. You put up 44 in the first quarter. You should have been up 15 points. If you just gave up 30 to the Hawks, you're up 14 because you scored 44. If you had done anything at all that first quarter defensively, but if Brook's running around and if you can get Brook turned around, again, it just hurts everything else defensively. And then the other piece about it, once you get him turned, is at least, okay, if he's going to be slow, cool. At least he used to be able to be a rim protector, stop everything at the rim. So, okay, if he gets a couple open threes, I can handle that. Now, it's not just open threes. He also, again, he's a broom. He's a broom. He's the drill where you put the broom up and the guy puts a layup up. He's a drill at this point. He is a drill. That's what he is. He is a defensive drill. Guys are not afraid at all of going to the hole, putting it right up over him. He's just a hand. Terrible, man. Terrible. More on him. Taurean Prince, 7 points, 4 boards, 1 steal. Ryan Rollins, I thought he had a great. Again, my bad. I was not locked. I like the Bucks was not locked in that second half. I thought his first half was really good. First half, I thought offensively. I thought
in the second half. Mid.
Okay. I thought he was really good first half. So y'all tell me mid in the second half. 10 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. Gary Trent Jr., 10 points tonight, 2 of 9 from the field. He could have shot better. But yeah, I thought he was in, he just didn't hit the shots I thought that he could have hit when he had some opportunities there. Pat Connaughton, 6 points, 3 assists. I thought Pat, for a guy who doesn't play at all, came in and did, again, he did a decent job for a guy who doesn't really get playing time anymore. He's probably going to get some more. I don't know the update on AJ Green, how long he's going to be out. I know he had the shoulder injury, but again, somebody in the chat and let me know how long he's going to be out. I don't know. And of course, I'm not looking at the chat right now either, but you guys let me know. Kevin Porter Jr., 28 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 8 of 12. He had a really nice night, cooking tonight, 28 points. But yeah, there was that point in the third quarter where the Bucks scored 13 points in the third, where again, Atlanta scored consistently all night long. The Bucks had a lull in the third, and ultimately that was what ended everything for him. I thought Andre Jackson came in 1.3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. I'll talk more about him and what those were 11 minutes. That might have been. You shake your head. That might have been, to me, that signals a change for me. But we'll talk about that in a second. Ricochet, 36 and 6 tonight, 12 of 21. He was a plus 19. Gouye, 9 points, 9 boards. Okongwu, 13 and 10. Dyson Daniels, 22 and 9. Trae Young, 19 points, 19 assists. That boy almost went. He was only 4 of 16 from the field. I mean, Listen, and Trey, 19, he had a fantastic game, offensively. But and again, the refs are not why the Bucks lost this game. But two things can be true at once. I don't understand how you get to jump back into people and you get fouls called. I'm at a loss for that. So the Bucks effectively stopped him from scoring the ball, from the field. He was 4 of 16. He was terrible from the field, but he shot 11 free throws, half of them because he just throws his head back into people. Again, I don't know. LeVert, 9 points tonight. Terrence Mann got kicked out of the game, 9 points, 4 assists. And Niang had a great first half, 17 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up because I have a lot to talk about, more on a macro level than anything. Defense was horrible tonight. Not much to say. I think there are questions about whether Doc Rivers has lost some. I don't know. I don't want to say he's lost. I don't want to say he's lost the team, but I don't know. I have more. I have to collect myself. 145, 124. It just wasn't good enough from a defensive standpoint tonight. That's a little what I saw. Chris, what did you see?
Yeah. You know how we do like the kind of optimism thing, and everybody, at some points there's losses in the regular season that are kind of scheduled losses in the NBA that you really just don't pay much mind to. This one was a loss that really opened my eyes. This is one where you give up 145 points to a team that you've pretty much handled throughout the regular season this year. This is one where you allow a pretty unimpressive rookie that he's good. He's worthy of a number 1 pick, but you don't allow him to get a career high or touch close to a career high tonight. You shouldn't do that. And that's just where this Bucks defense is. Like without Dame, it's not even really about Dame. I just think that this is who the Milwaukee Bucks are. You grab Sims, you grab AJ Green back. I still don't think this changes my view on how the Bucks are when I look at it from a macro level. Like, it's just you can't give up 145 to the Hawks, have that kind of third quarter where it's just like, all right, you're down 26 going into the fourth and expect everything to be good in the playoffs. That's why I'm not very impressed with what this Bucks team can roll out when there's no Dame. At least if you have Dame, maybe you don't put up 13 points in the third quarter or however many it was. At least you have a puncher's chance. To me, I don't know if the guys around Giannis right now can win a first-round series. And I'll just say it. I'll say it point blank. It's tough to come to that realization as a Bucks fan because I know there's people in the chat that also agree with us about some of the games where it's like, okay, it's just the NBA regular season. No, I can't do it anymore. And I don't want to see that anymore unless this thing really turns around. Look, we got 8 games. What is it, 10 games until the playoffs?
I think it's 8.
Yeah, 8 games.
It's 8.
It's hard. You have a type of night like this, it's hard. It's not so much that you lost to the Hawks. It's the fashion that you lost to them in. It's giving up 145 points in an NBA basketball game to that type of team. And to be honest, I don't think that this team in a first-round series really has – I mean, they have a chance, obviously, having Giannis, having the guys they have around. But if you're going to have so many inconsistent players, offensively and defensively, how are you going to win 4 games out of 7? It's going to be real tough. It will, especially from what I saw tonight. Getting into the game, I kind of thought the defense was bad, obviously. You saw KPJ going, double digits in that fourth quarter, but that was it. Like, that's all you could be excited about. Unless one of those point guards, Ryan Rollins or KPJ, is really going to step forward and be that number 1 guy undoubtedly, you're going to have a tough time. You just are. You can't have the inconsistencies at the one spot with KPJ and Ryan Rollins. It's either one night one of them's great and the other one's bad, or they're both bad, or they're never good together. I don't understand that. Even if they are good, they're turning the ball over in key moments. TP, he's been bad. Just like I could go down the line of how bad this team really has performed throughout the late stages of the season, and I can't be optimistic anymore. It's tough. Giannis, I know we talk so much about Giannis and how good he is, but at the end of the day, man, like there are moments in games where you've got to make both free throws. and I know he didn't shoot the ball bad from the free throw line today, but there's just moments where you gotta step up and knock down free throws. And if he's not gonna do that in big moments, then you're always gonna be climbing an uphill battle. Brooke, too slow, not impacting the game. You're 2 of 6 from the field, playing 30 minutes. What are we getting from you offensively? What are we going to – how are we – if a team puts up 145, we need more than 2 made field goals in the basketball game. And if that doesn't happen, we're going to be searching for some damn answers. I mean, it's the truth. Bobby Portis, yeah, we're going to need you back. But if we need you for solely offense, that's not going to bring this team far either. So, look. To me, I'm done with the optimism thing. I know that this is crunch time for this Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. I'm tired of doing it. I'm not going to do it. And if nothing changes in these last couple games and you get a bad matchup in the playoffs, I'm not going to be confident in taking this team in a first-round series.
Yeah, man. Lots to unpack tonight. I think misery loves company in the 414 after seeing the Brewers get shellacked all day. Then we come into a Bucks game and they get shellacked even worse. Let's just go right into Doc says.
What the hell Doc say? Doc, go ahead. Doc better not have he better not have no excuses tonight. He better have no. I better not hear one excuse from Doc Rivers tonight.
Man, these are the nights where the folks that are doom and gloom are gonna have a parade in their city tonight. And they love it. But anyways, all right. So Doc said first time at the half, we shot 70% and we were down 8 points, which is crazy. Said they started real strong in this basketball game. Giannis was doing everything, scoring the ball, passing the ball, hockey assists, making shots, everything you could possibly do. So one of the things that really got under his skin was the fact that they were making shots and the Hawks were still beating them down the floor. That just can't happen. Doc said he has to fix it. No excuses here. Transition defense started out a few weeks ago. It was going great. Started out terrible as well this season, and that's why we started out 2-8. And they got to watch film to fix it. Then he kind of went into a thing where he talked about how they watch film. They watched film for a long time today, and then they came out and laid a complete egg. And once again, he emphasized that he will fix it. Talk about Ajax gave him a lift with energy when he came off the bench. They kind of referenced him as a backup quarterback, and that kind of really got under Doc's skin. They want Ajax to stay ready and be able to be called on when he's ready. Came out completely flat in the third quarter. Hawks' energy came out extremely better than the Bucks, and also they scored on every possession. Hawks had a single game plan tonight. It was to catch the ball, put your head down, and go to the basket. And consistently, the Milwaukee Bucks were beating off the dribble tonight. Again, Doc will fix it. He said this about 7 times during the interview. And the last thing Doc said is he loved the team.
That's Doc. That is Doc Rivers. I love this group.
Tonight was completely abysmal. There's no excuses for Brook Lopez. There's no excuses for Kevin Porter Jr.'s defense. There's no excuses for anyone on this roster. I don't care that Giannis had 31 and whatever he had. I don't care about anything. This is a horrible coaching job by Doc and the team. This was a horrible game by the Bucks. The Bucks were out-efforted by a terrible basketball team. Y'all know Hawks aren't good. They're terrible. They're 2 games under 500 in the Eastern Conference majority schedule. Just no excuse for it. Does that mean I'm going to do like Kendrick and turn the TV off? Absolutely not. This is one game in a multitude of 82. So if this game happens December 1st, is the same energy like that? No. Do we got to watch a home bridge like that? No. Would AJ Green have made a difference in this game? No. Would Bobby Portis have made a difference in this game? No. I don't think Dame would have made a difference. I don't think Sims would have made a difference. The fact is, majority of these guys are better than the effort in what they played tonight. Now, I do agree with you. I will agree with you to one aspect. If the Milwaukee Bucks come out and they play with this level of intensity and this level of energy and let themselves be punked around by a bunch of dudes that your casual NBA fan doesn't know their name, Yeah, they're going to go home. But looking at my Rolodex from the NBA, Detroit just got smacked up at home tonight, too. Teams get smacked up. That's the current day NBA. Does that mean they can't beat the Detroit Pistons in the first round? No. Does that mean they can't beat the Indiana Pacers in the first round? No. Because I still believe Giannis is
Knicks.
Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers. I said what I said. I'm not, look, I can't, as optimistic as I am watching this effort tonight and then watching what the New York Knicks did to us the other night. No, I can't go on. Now, if dudes play up to their level of basketball, it's a possibility we can beat it. Any of those two teams. Can we beat the New York Knicks? I don't know. Is Brook Lopez better than what he was tonight? I don't know. 4 or 5 games ago, he showed it. I don't know what happened. Is Gary Trent better than this? 4 or 5 games ago, he showed it. Kevin Porter Jr. showed it. These guys have showed us they can play better than that. So if they don't do it, then we're gonna be at home with it. They're gonna be sitting right next to us.
You're not wrong. William Arrange's super chat. Want to shout out the super chat for William Arrange. He says it was 72-70. I do want to bring this up because this is a good point. He says it was 72-70 when Giannis got called for a crazy charge call in the second quarter. I think the game swings our way if we get the 3-point play. From there, Hawks going to 8-0 run. The game was lost. Now, here's William. You are correct. That ended up being a 6-point swing because Giannis hit the layup. I know Todd he would have missed the free throw, but anyway, it was a potential 6-point swing because he would have he had an and-one, would have been able to have a chance to hit the layup, and then you had the Hawks come down and hit a 3 off of that, what ended up being a turnover because they reversed it. Meanwhile, you got Trae Young throwing his head back into people and going to the free throw line 11 times. So I don't understand that. Now, again, this game was not lost by the officiating crew, but that was a very tough 6-point swing that the Bucks faced right there. And therein, William, though, lies my problem. And because William makes a good point at the end. He says the game was lost. Good teams, good basketball. And I agree with him. It was a bad call and it led to a bad result. And that was a turning point in this basketball game. But good teams, the best teams, don't let a call at the end of the second quarter be the turning point in the basketball game. The refs were absolutely wrong. And the Bucks, it was a 6-point swing because of it. The Boston Celtics don't allow that to be up game. Like if you were a Boston Celtics fan and this was a Boston Celtics chat, you would not. There's no way you would fathom going. The game was lost on a call in the second quarter. If you're a Cleveland Cavaliers up until the last week or so, you would not see them in any game they've lost this year and go, "Oh my God, the game was lost on this call that was a 6-point swing in the second quarter." The good teams don't lose because of that. And I'm not saying that we lost because of that call, but I agree it did change the momentum and the tenor in the course of this game. But if you're a good team, if you're a decent team, you can't let that change the game. And it did feel like that was the turning point in the game because I don't know if the Bucks ever led again. Did the Bucks ever lead again after that? I don't think so. I don't think they ever led after right around that point. So William is correct that the game was when the Hawks were on an 8-0 run, and it seemed like it was over from there. But you can't lose. Like good teams don't lose right there. Like good teams don't lose on a call. And it was a bad call, but good teams don't lose right there.
And I'll also say good teams really, I mean, if you're down late in games, you don't just roll over. And that's what I felt like this Bucks team did. You look at what the Knicks did tonight against the Trailblazers. They're down 9 all throughout that third quarter. All of a sudden, they have one final push. They push it all the way. They go down 1 heading into the fourth, and they go beat the Trailblazers. It's not so much the teams that you're playing, guys. It's the fight that you need to show against some bad teams, some teams that should not be able to hang with you, and some teams that you shouldn't let in third quarters, fourth quarters, whatever, at home in your own building just absolutely wax you in third quarters. Like that should not be the case with this Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. They have the talent. They do, undoubtedly. They're just not putting it together. They're not. And, yes, I understand there's circumstances that throughout the season that have happened to this Bucks team that have not happened to other teams in the NBA. But at some point, somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to step up and say, hey, this random Sunday night, we're not going to lose this basketball game. And they don't have that. They don't have that fight. So what makes you think they're going to have that in the playoffs if things get rocky? If a team is going to go up a game on you 2-1 or something like that. These teams are going into Fiserv and beating your ass, and they have no shame about it. The Milwaukee Bucks, I don't know. It's tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to hope that a veteran coach who's played the game of basketball can step up and motivate these guys to play better. One thing about Doc, I know everyone will bring up his Philadelphia coaching thing, his Clippers, whatever the case. It's a whole bunch of dudes in the chat that claim Doc is this, Doc is that. I'm going to trust a certain dude from the other day. Doc's a good basketball coach. And Doc got to get this right. But at the end of the day, Chris is absolutely right. Like, you got to find someone to step up. But I'm not even looking for you to step up and make a basket. I'm looking for you to step up and get in front of somebody. Defense is effort. If you don't have that effort on the defensive end, I don't give a damn what you're doing on the offensive end. I mean, we look at a lot of guys. Look at Trae Young. He's a cone just like allegedly some of the dudes that we have, right? But he finds a way to impact it. He at least makes more of an effort. And if we're not going to do that in Milwaukee, it's going to be a long summer. And judging the fact that this team is pretty much in salary cap hell, it's going to be an even long year next year. So maybe you look at Giannis. Maybe you look at some of these veteran dudes on his team. Bobby, Pat, someone. You need someone to make a speech that resonates. And we can't keep looking at the refs. I'm not saying you blaming the refs, Trey. But I'm just going to say, we come in here all the time. And 90% of the times, especially Giannis's whistle, it sucks. We got to find a way to play through that because they're not changing. Whatever it is. Dame can't grip, but like you said, Trey can throw that little bit of a hairline that he has back into someone's body, and it's an and one. It just got to change. What is our record since we had that meeting with Dame, Giannis, and Doc?
Shit.
Went to the,
I don't know what the hell the record is.
1-4.
Have we beat anybody since then?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what the record is since then. There's some people in the chat saying that the Bucks. Let me. No, this isn't even optimism. The Bucks are not gonna be in the play-in. I will sit here and clip this up. $100 to anybody in the chat who thinks the Bucks are going to be in the play-in. They will not be in the play-in. They will not be in the play-in. That's not going to happen. Now, they have not been playing well. They're not going to be a play-in team. Like, let me see where the standings are today. And this isn't even about being optimistic. I'm just looking at the Bucks are they're 4 games up on Atlanta right now. And again, that would almost Atlanta would be essentially with what 8 games left. Atlanta would essentially have to win out, and the Bucks would have to basically lose out for that to take place. So yeah, I don't see any chance in the world that happens where the Bucks aren't the 6th seed. Now, if you want to question whether or not they can get to the 5, again, the Bucks have more chance of getting over Detroit, who just lost tonight as well, and versus being the 7th. I'm not going there. Y'all are. So again, if you want to call people go, this is delusional fan. You want to call people delusional? I think that's delusional in the opposite direction. Again, some people are glass half full. Some people are glass half empty. That is like you're pretending you don't even have a glass. Okay, like let's not go there. Okay, they're not gonna be the 7th seed. No. I do want to read a couple. Well, I always lose my place here. I do want to read a couple comments here as it's been going on. D Wiley 24 says Brooks Lopez with a legendary performance. Quack Me 22 says get bum ass Lopez off the team. KML M92 says the team is checked out. Another one, Richard C says Lopez 1 rebound. Nate Nugent says they quit. And I'll do one more before we keep going. Charles Posen says, did you see Giannis throwing his towel down after a stupid Rollins turnover? He looks done with these bums he's playing with. I did see him doing that. And he says trade request is coming this summer. I hope it doesn't. I don't know. I don't think he's trade. And again, because somebody wanted to argue with me again, maybe at the end of the show, I might do a little bit of discussion on why when people talk again, I've had this conversation before. That's why it doesn't make sense. Some people, you guys just, I'm not saying you guys, but some people when they're talking to me, it's very clear that you don't listen to the things that I say because I've gone over how much Giannis is responsible for not all, but some of the roster construction as of late and coaching hiring as of late. We've talked about some of this. So again, if he wants to me, you ask out when things aren't going your way and you feel like the front office has done things you don't want. You don't get to, in my opinion, you don't get to ask out when you ask for things, they give you things and it don't work. And then you go, oh, I don't like that. No, that's not the recipe for asking out. Now, again, I agree. Things have not gone the way you want to from a roster construction standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. Maybe they haven't. But you don't, in my opinion, you don't get to ask out. And again, if you do, I send your ass to Toronto. I send your ass wherever the hell I got to send you and get the best deal for you. But that's another talk for another day. We talked about the defense, Justin, and we're talking about people again, talking about Lopez, Brook Lopez. You mentioned Doc talking about the transition defense. And, I mean, it was telling when they came out of the second half. And, I mean, it's the first play out the second half. I think Kuzma missed the three. They get a rebound. And, I mean, and the crazy – this is why, and as much as we want to blame Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers should be blamed for a lot of this, Brook Lopez is actually back. He's actually back on defense. And he's so slow that he can't. I mean, it was one thing when, like, they're boat racing you down the floor, and you're either not running back or you don't go back or whatever. You have no effort. Brook actually's down the floor, and he's such a slow molasses. It's like you watching the Animal Planet Discovery Channel, and they got the sloths on, and they just slowly climb. And, I mean, the ball and he's looking this way, and the ball's this way, and by the time he realizes it, he jumps, layup right up. Like, that was the first play out of the half. And so, like, listen, and again, I blame Doc. That's not Doc's fault that Brook Lopez is slow down. Now, it's Doc's fault because he's putting his ass out there. That's his fault. And again, and this is what I was getting to when I was talking about Ajax, was that, and for people who, if you want to see this thing as glass half full, what I saw when he put in Ajax, and not only when I saw when he put in Ajax, but also when you lose a game and you give 145 points, that is the type of a game that gets attention. And when I say attention, it gets the type of attention that's like, oh, we need to make changes. This isn't a last second loss to the Phoenix Suns. This isn't we lost to a good basketball team. The Atlanta Hawks, again, they're not a good basketball team. We're not a good basketball team right now either. We're pretending like one, but the Atlanta Hawks, let's not make no mistake like there's some great bad. They are not. We lost to a bad basketball team. And again, maybe someone say we're a bad basketball team. That's fine, but you lost to one. This is one of those eye-opening losses that goes, oh, I may have to change something up. And when I look at Ajax and just the way, again, he missed some shots tonight when he did get in, but the way, he had that putback dunk that he got fouled on. He got Terrence Mann kicked out of the game because he gets in the game, he starts jawing. I like that. He was down 15. We were down 20 points. I think we were down 25 when he got in the game. And he got in the game and immediately started yapping. And because, I'm going to go play. I'm going to go play. And there was an energy shift when he got in the game. My question is, do you look to see some differences there? Is this one of the losses where, because again, we want to be an optimist, Bobby Portis is going to come back. Jericho Sims is going to come back. I think he's going to come back. You have to start thinking about how much, when you're in a playoff series, how much time you can give to Brook Lopez. Because, again, you just can't. He's so slow out there, man. And I truly believe, and I'm not saying he's the only thing to blame for the defensive lapses, but I really think he's a big part of them just because he's so slow.
Yeah, you're not lying. There are multiple instances where you see, Brook could be back in transition. Brook could be the anchor in the paint. But when some of these guys are athletic as all get out that you're playing against, and they're able to just put one, maybe not even one move on you, just literally just get straight to the basket. When Brook is down there and he has no chance of blocking it, a lot of his blocks, they come from him being back turned to the basket or to facing up on the basket, I'll say. And guys are maybe driving baseline. they're not from the straight line drivers at the perimeter on the top of the key. They're just not. It's guys that are running in transition. He's just not able to contest those type of shots, it looks like. And that is a big concern. But I'll also say this. I think if you're looking for Jericho Sims and Andre Jackson Jr. to fix this defense, it's just it may be just
Chris,
the problem with roster
fix
construction.
it. I'm not saying fix it, but like you don't have to give up 145 to Atlanta. You ain't gotta fix it. But you should. If you're playing normal defense, you shouldn't give. You can get cooked and not give 145. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean you're right in that, but I just it's Ajax and freaking Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims didn't play on the Knicks. Like when you start to look at it from a bird's eye view, it's a little tough to think that those type of guys would have a crazy impact in these type of games where you're giving up 145 anyway because they can't miss threes. They're getting wide open threes as well. It's just not completely on Brook, but when you factor in the bad perimeter defense on top of what Brook doesn't give you interior, it's tough.
No, I unfortunately I agree again. A lot of this stuff got to be stopped in the middle of the paint by these wings. You got to get in front of your guard. Torian Prince has to guard better. Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter, Ryan Rollins, all these. Giannis got to play better defense. Like, enough of this Olay stuff. I don't think that when you look at a team that gave up 145 points, that's collectively the 5 on the floor to me. Do I feel like Brook is a problem? Without truthfully understanding the entire scheme of the defense, I can't wholeheartedly go to him because he may be in the right position from time to time, and it may be X or Y that is wrong. I mean, we've seen things where we thought that he was in the wrong position and Doc was going off on AJ Green or Ryan Rollins or whoever else. But you have to do better, just period. There's no excuse around this. Do I think Jericho Sims and Bobby Portis changes the dynamic of this defense or changes the dynamic of the Bucks? I do, from the aspect that when we were really playing good 5 to 8 games ago, Sims was in the game. And what did that mean for Brook? His playing time was shrunk and he played a lot better. You're not going to sugarcoat. He's 36, 37 years old. I've said it before. As you get older, there's certain things that your body will not allow you to do it. I'm sure the chat's going crazy. Well, we should have paid him this. We should have paid him that. Yeah, maybe so. But at the time when we paid it to him, and what was he, 34, 33? He was coming off a great defensive year. I believe that was a year after Triple J from the Grizzlies won Defensive Player of the Year over him. Hey, man, I've never seen a guy get older and get better in the game of basketball, though. But you got to play better, man. There's no excuse for this stuff. Doc has to coach better. What's the guy's name that does the defense? It's not Yeager. Who's the assistant coach?
I can't. Black dude.
Yeah, well, whoever it is.
I can't remember. Yeah, somebody chat tell.
Defensive coordinator. You got to coach better. Like, these dudes got to understand it. And if you got a dude that's not checking out here, just like when you're from your middle school team all the way to your collegiate teams, sit down. Maybe this completely off topic, but maybe that's why Rick Pitino sat down the kid from St. John's that was their best player, because he wasn't checking anybody on that defensive end. You got to send a message. And after a loss like this, and I think both of you have said it, it's not the fact that you lost to the sorry-ass Atlanta Hawks. It's the fact of the effort that was out there. Heads need to roll.
You're not wrong. And, you know, after a loss like this, you know what you should do?
Go to Curly's, drink everything.
You got to go to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Always Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Lakeview Boulevard. Get out there, enjoy yourself, have some fun. And a night like this, you have to do it. Because if it's a national televised game, you know what they get?
$3.
$3 bottles and pints. Drink them under the table. And every Wednesday and Thursday night, what are they doing?
Bingo and trivia. And you can also get on Bingo and Trivia. You can get Bucks tickets if you do well. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2 out there at Curly's. And there will be a televised game Tuesday night, by the way, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Bucks, Suns. This is
probably one of the more disappointing TNT matchups that they're going to roll out. I know they didn't think that was going to happen. This is going to be Mike Budenholzer's first run back in the mill as a head coach of the Phoenix Suns. They're getting. I mean, if you thought the Bucks had a bad night tonight, my God, they have 57 points right now against the Houston Rockets. They're getting slacked. And yes, KD and Devin Booker are both playing rough out there for the Phoenix Suns. So again, something's got to give as the Bucks and the Suns are going to meet up on Tuesday night. Both teams will be looking for a win. King of Kings says Giannis the same guy to average 40 with only 7 players average. I think he's responding to Hermit, who is for whatever reason telling us that that Giannis is a ball hog and the runs came. Again, that was a fake run in the fourth quarter. Let's not kid ourselves. They weren't coming back. They were not coming back to win this basketball game. Here's what I want to do. Let's start with let's get a reset going, right? That's our next topic, a reset. And I'm asking the chat too. And again, when I talk about Dwally 24, I miss Adrian Griffin. Hey, me too. But I'm not gonna get into it. Because I get into a whole debate. I go down a whole rabbit hole about that and how all the smart folks said I was stupid about the Adrian Griffin thing. By the way, I saw somebody else say something about in the chat talking about, did you still think the trade was? I ain't seen Chris Middleton play yet, but my bad. I didn't mean to mention Chris Middleton. I'm not going down that rabbit hole either. But again, I've talked about it before. It's funny. We've shifted now to AJ Johnson was the big piece, and it was so good. Good on you guys for shifting. You've now moved your goalpost to someone else. So I appreciate you guys for at least recognizing that Chris Middleton wasn't the glue that held everything together. But not that he would have changed anything either. But I want to do a reset here. And my reset is not for off-season stuff. So Todd, I know Todd is going to trade Dame. Dame can't be traded in this scenario. I want to talk about what you can do and what this is going to mean for the Bucks to end this season. Now, I will preface that by giving the Damian Lillard update that I received. Again, I say this as always by saying, I tell you if it's first hand, second hand, third hand. This is, what is it when you ask somebody and they had to ask somebody in the best third hand, right? Yep. So this is third hand information. Take it for what you will. Now, I got this information from the same person who told me that Chris Middleton was medically cleared to play, and that wasn't being reported yet, and it came out later that he was medically cleared to play and wasn't playing. So this, I wouldn't say it unless I thought there was some credence to it. Take it as you will. You can believe it, not believe it. As my mama used to say back in the day when I was eating a meal, and I didn't want to eat. She said you can either eat it or stick a stick up beside it. So I was either you can take what I'm giving you or don't. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick before you go, how many times have you been right on these predictions for all y'all out there that want to dollar? Just saying.
Hey, I listen. But they continue to doubt me. So this update is, I'll be very frank. It's not really an update. It's just an update of what he is, but it really doesn't give you any picture. What I was told about Damian Lillard is the reason they're giving, because my question was really about why do they keep saying he can potentially come back? My original thought was maybe they're saying it like as if they could get this postseason run. And if they get to the finals, they could, maybe after the 3 months or whatever it is, he can potentially be available. That is not necessarily correct from what I heard. From what I heard, there's an opportunity that is between 1 month and 6 months. So if you hear if you break down what I'm saying, what I was told is that, and he's already been on blood thinners now this would be week 2 that he's on blood thinners. So he's been on blood thinners now going on 2 weeks. They're saying it all depends on how he responds to the medicine. So that's neat. That does not mean that he's going to be ready in 2 weeks. I'm guessing that he's probably going to take it very slow and he's not going to be ready. But that is what, from my understanding, why they're saying there is a chance that he could play and be ready for the playoffs. Again, does not mean he's going to play. And apparently he was very freaked out about it as well. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to play. But that's the only update I have. But my question for you guys, my question for the chat is, in this reset, so the people we think are going to come back are Bobby Portis and Jericho Sims. what does Doc need to do in the playoffs to get this team to get? And I want to say is, if it's the New York Knicks and you're trying to win this series, so the answer can't be, well, you're going to lose and it's over, right? Like, I think that's a lot of people tell season's over. No. My question is, you're Doc Rivers. You can't throw your hands up. You have to give some type of answer. Are you starting Ajax? Somebody said start Ajax. Are you starting Ajax? Are you benching Brook Lopez and bringing in Jericho Sims if he's available? Are you moving Torian Prince out of the starting lineup? Are you starting KPJ or Rollins? Are you moving Kuz from the 3 to the 4? Is Kuz coming off the bench? That's my question. You are Doc Rivers. How are you going to beat? How are you going to win the playoffs? How are you going to set this team up for success in the playoffs?
Yeah. To me, I think you have to change the identity of this basketball team. I think when you get into the playoffs, you're certainly going to have to cut Brook's minutes down. I get it. You got to play Brook 30 minutes tonight because you have no other bigs. And that may fall a little bit, maybe not on Doc. That may fall on Horst. That may fall on roster construction. But at the end of the day, if you're getting your bigs back, your 2 backup bigs, you're going to play them because of what you saw tonight. You're going to play Jericho Sims. You've seen that you've given him an opportunity at the NBA level, and he's done well with it. So you're going to play Jericho Sims minutes. I'm not comfortable enough maybe starting Jericho Sims. I'm not comfortable enough maybe starting Bobby Portis. But at the end of the day, those minutes got to be cut down from 30 all the way, maybe even down to 10 in spurts. What people are talking about with Ajax, how he may be a spurt player, you're going to do that with Brook Lopez. That's how you put the team's best interests first, because I just think that the athleticism and the effort that Jericho Sims gives you, and then maybe some of the offense now at this point, when I see a game that Brook Lopez goes 2 of 6 and plays 30 minutes, maybe Bobby Portis gets a lot of minutes in the playoffs if you need an answer offensively. And yeah, I think the other question would probably be the guard position. I think at least you have kind of a definitive answer of what you're going to go to with Gary Trent Jr. I know he didn't play well tonight, but I feel like he's strung together enough good games, at least respectable games, to be like, okay, maybe we should roll with him if we're going to shorten up how many players we're going to go with at the 2 or 3 spot. And then I think your other main question, like I said, is just the point guard position. Are you going to go with Rollins or are you going to go with KPJ? To me, it's the ceiling of KPJ it's tremendously higher than what Ryan Rollins can give you at this point. And so I think if you're going to go with I want to win this series, you're going to go with KPJ because you're missing Damian Damn Lillard. And so you're going to need that type of high ceiling. Now, that doesn't mean Ryan Rollins can't play, but I think KPJ is the answer. I know he's been inconsistent as all get out, but what I saw tonight, you go double digits in one quarter. I think he gives you that kind of ceiling that you're going to need in the playoffs to win some games. But, yeah, that's my main takeaway of what maybe needs to happen for this basketball team. The Ryan Rollins, KPJ situation is a little closer than I would say the backup bigs and stuff. Like, at least those guys, you know what you're getting. The point guard position is going to be huge, especially when you're missing Damian Lillard.
I'm saying on Todd's comments is Bucks haven't beaten Boston, Cleveland, and Knicks all season, even with healthy. How do you expect the injured Bucks team to beat them in the playoffs? It's just crazy talk. That's not what we're talking about, Todd. That's not like again, if you're Doc Rivers, you can't go, hey guys, we haven't beaten Boston, Cleveland, and Knicks all season. How can we beat them? That's not an answer. So I get the sentiment is you can't beat them. That's fine, but that's not an answer for how do you do it. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. Sorry, Justin.
Nah, you're good. So a couple shows ago, I compared what we would allegedly need from this run, from a Giannis to go to a LeBron run, his early on in his years when he went to the finals with Mo Williams and Zildjian Ilgauskas and some of the other dudes that were there. Drew Gooden was probably on that team. He may not have been. There you go. But I think that Sims is definitely going to need to see the floor a little bit more because it's those energy plays, those hustles, those getting those loose balls, those blocking a shot, that rebound. The same way that we allegedly lost this game off of a bad foul call, Sims is a guy who can make a play that can do that for you. I'm going to need KPJ to play like KPJ. I'm going to need Rollins to play like Rollins. Like, you need dudes to play better. More floor time for Gary Trent Jr., though, because one thing about it, man, he can shoot you in a game, he can shoot you out of game. That's what shooters do. And I trust him. I trust him. I think the law averages and the form and the rotation and all that stuff that you look at from AJ Green's jump shot indicates that his makes should be a lot more than what they are. So some of this is on Doc, but some of this is on you just need guys to play to the level that they are at, or if not better. So when I'm looking at guys that can play better, obviously Bobby's a given. And I'm not talking about from him being suspended this 25 games. I'm talking about from what he did when he was here, healthy and playing. He has to play better. I need Bobby to have 10 rebounds a game. And you're starting Ajax is tough because we talked about Brook may be the cause to the slow starts. And with Ajax not having the offensive ability that we want, I'm not even going to say he doesn't have the offensive ability. He doesn't take enough shots when he has opportunity to take shots to change the game. You're down there in the dunker area. We all see you got the hops, dude. Jump up and punch on somebody and change the momentum of the game. But Brooks going to need a couple games off too. It's just too much time right now. But to go back to your point and Todd saying we can't beat this team or we can't beat that team, yeah, maybe so. But then I'll circle back to that Miami Heat team that went to the finals. They lost to damn near everybody. They were down double digits to the Chicago Bulls to go home in the play-in 9-10 matchup. So you call me delusional, you call me too optimistic, but that's why I'm never counting out the Bucks. They're eliminated. We've seen guys turn a switch, flip, something connects, and that battery charges, goes, and they take off. So we need that now, though.
I'm with you. I'm not saying and now the couple in the chat, because you did make the reach there that, you know, LeBron and Giannis on the comparison, saying LeBron took a team with Drew Gooden and was a Booby, what's his name? Booby Mountain, not Booby Mountain. What's his man's name?
Booby Gibson.
Booby Gibson.
Star.
Yeah. Was Eric Snow on that team too? Or was Eric Snow? He played for the Cavs for a minute. Was Eric Snow on that team? I'm not sure. I feel like Eric Snow was on that team. But yeah, so and some people mentioned, yeah, Giannis can't control the pace like a LeBron. LeBron's basketball IQ, yeah, no, Giannis can't do some of that. And he's gonna go bull in China shop. And again, what I will say is the biggest difference in all this is Doc Rivers as an old school coach. Do you remember one of those playoff runs where Bud was still, and again, I think it was because the Bucks had like 160 games or whatever it was. One of the playoff runs, Bud was still playing Giannis like 35 minutes in the playoffs, like trying to be cute. No. Doc Rivers is an old school coach. And I do believe if he feels like he needs to throw Giannis 44 minutes to try to win a game, he will do that in the playoffs. Like I have no doubt that Doc will do that kind of stuff. And we'll see and Giannis will be dog tired, but we will see if the extra 8 minutes of Giannis changes some of what we see. I don't know. The Rollins and KPJ is definitely a question. And I think it may be who has the hot hand that night. I think you're right, Chris, that KPJ has a much higher ceiling offensively to cook. I think Rollins I think he also has a much lower floor. So I think that's the difference, because I've seen KPJ, just be a turnover machine.
And
I've seen it when he
1 for 8.
Yeah, he can have those type of nights, and defensively he can be a liability too. At times, I think Rollins defensively, I almost feel very confident about his defense on just normal guards. I don't know what that means for Jalen Brunson. It'd be tough if it's the Knicks, but again, who knows? Jalen Brunson on a bad will, I don't know. But Rollins probably a lower ceiling, even though he's played better as of late, much better. But I think his floor is much higher. So I think there's a question there on Rollins. I think that the answer is, to me, I'm taking TP out of the lineup. I'm putting Gary Trent at my 2. I think at my 3, I'm going Kuz. At my 4, I'm going Giannis. At my 5, I'm probably starting Jericho Sims. because I want defense all over the floor. And I would, I think there's a chance that, well, could you put Ajax and it? But I think because there's also a chance of where Kuz isn't always going to have great games. That's 2 nights in a row. Kuz has been really good offensively, but there's going to be a game where Kuz offensively is going to look like some hot garbage. And so I can't have 3 guys in the line. I can't have Ajax, Kuz, and Jericho Sims in the lineup, and we looking like what the hell's going on. So I think it would be those 5 that I would start. And that way, the only very negative offensive player you have is Sims, and Sims can really be out of the way because he is a great screener and a great roller to the basket. So I think there are some things I would do. And the other thing about it is that lineup should be able to defend. That lineup should be able to switch literally, really 2 through 5 all over the floor. You should be able to switch and be okay. And again, you got to at the end of the day, you have to give yourself a shot. And I think there is a chance. You mentioned not like the LeBron teams, Justin, but you mentioned the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat teams. Yeah, Giannis is better than Jimmy Butler. I know people saying Giannis ain't LeBron. Giannis is better than Jimmy Butler. He's better than playoff Jimmy Butler. Them fake runs don't mean nothing to me. But can guys come out and again, the guys hit shots tonight, like for outside of the third quarter, but they hit shots. So if you come out and shoot the ball well, but you got to come out and play defense. And that's the other thing when you talk about the spurts, it's Brook Lopez in spurts. And again, can I get him when he's in the game on a mismatch down low in the paint, which I will give Doc credit for playing him down a little bit more. He can hit the 3 ball. You see some of that. Ajax energy just got low. We let go. I'll say this before. I've never seen a team give up as many loose balls or not get. I've never seen a team like that. And they find creative ways not to get them. I don't know, man. I'm pretty. Tonight was a bad night, folks. There's no way around. Tonight was a bad night.
Hey, sorry, Chris. I just one thing. When I was comparing Giannis to the LeBron, just for the clarification of the literal people in the chat, I was never saying Giannis is LeBron, but nothing similar other than we needed a Herculean effort for that run. Now, can we please stop the dumbass shit in the chat about trading Giannis, rebuilding, and all this dumb shit? Like, you pissing me the hell off. It's stupid. We rebuilt it from 85 until Ben Baker came in 94. The hell are you talking about? Rebuild this, rebuild that. It's not trade Giannis for draft picks. Like,
I'm not there either. I don't care how this year ends. I'm not at the trade Giannis for. I'm not with that. I think people, again, it's one of those things where you don't remember how bad things can be. Nah, I'm not trading Giannis. Again, it's crazy because it's so crazy. There's no way in my mind people got upset that we traded Chris Middleton, and all of a sudden they're like, well, you know what we should do? Let's trade Giannis. Now, let's double down on that. No. You guys are about to flip the lid because you traded. Okay, we believe we did a franchise legend. No, I ain't trading Giannis either. No.
Hey, Mr. One Guy 14, you clearly weren't here for green and growing. Ain't nobody goddamn crying. We sat through that shit. Bum ass Bucks fan. You're a bum Bucks fan, and anyone sitting up there talking about trading Giannis, don't even cheer for the Bucks. Half y'all dumbass fools just fucking talking about, oh, well, we lost the trade deadline, so we want the Bucks to lose because Middleton no longer on this goddamn team. Man, get the hell out of here with that dumb shit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So real quick, I just wanted to make the point that because I think you Trey, you were talking about how this Bucks team, if you trade Giannis, like it's just kind of we're just back to square one. You guys both said it, and that's not where I'm at with this basketball team. But I will say that like I do think that the role players that are on this team right now have been some of the best help he's had. And so that's why I'm not quick to give up on him. I'm not quick to give up on this Bucks team. But it is going to be tough when you don't have that second guy, when you don't have that Damian Lillard. If you don't have him in the playoffs, it's gonna be rough. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if this thing does flame out, it's gonna be really hard to keep some of the guys that are maybe worth some extra money in free agency, like we saw with Malik Beasley last year. But I also know that some of these guys that we do have this year that we've added to this basketball team could help in the future. And so that's where I'm at with the whole situation.
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate right now where this thing is at and what the Bucks have going on. But again, they mentioned it the other night at the analysis event or whatever that they have 2 months to change their lives or whatever that phrase was. I guess I know that it was taped. It was live, but it was taped. So we'll see kind of whatever comes of it. But they have to act like it. Like tonight, when you come out tonight and you give up 145, 146, whatever, 145, you're not showing me that you have 2 months to move forward or to whatever the hell it was. But again, that's why you play the games. You're not going to be the 7 seed. You're going to be again. And here's the other thing. I think somebody in the chat mentioned it. Detroit's schedule, and again, they're 6-4 in their last 10, so they have cooled off a little bit as well. And they're I don't know if Cade Cunningham's, I don't know his injury designation or injury status, but they've cooled off as well. But it's I think they have a tough schedule. I think they have a pretty tough schedule coming up. Like they play again. So the Bucks have you're a game. Let me see this. You're a game and a half back of Detroit with 8 games left, right? The Bucks have coming up. They play Phoenix Tuesday. None of these games. Let me just say this too. None of these games the Bucks are about to play are gimmies at this point. You can't put any game in your back pocket if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, okay? So Tuesday, you got the Suns. Wednesday, Detroit has Oklahoma City. You're down a game and a half. You can get a full game back on Detroit by Wednesday. You could be a half game out of 5, okay? Then you have the 76ers on Thursday. You could be tied with the Detroit. So by the end of this week on Thursday night, if you win 2 games on Tuesday and Thursday, and Detroit loses to Oklahoma City, you will be tied in a statistical tie, and I think we have the tiebreaker. Is that right? I think we have a tiebreaker, right? I want to say that's correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the Pistons do have the Raptors after that. We have the Heat, and then they have the Grizzlies after that, who fired their coach, but they're good basketball team. John Morant's back. So again, I say that to say that it is no just walk in the park gimme that the Detroit Pistons are going to be the 5 seed and the Bucks are just relegated to the 6. Okay, like we're not there at this point. I think the Bucks, again, it's going to take playing some good basketball, but the Bucks can finish this thing at the 5 seed. And Chet says the Pistons are better, and yeah, that's fine. Hermit James says Pistons have OKC and the Knicks still outside of 2 against Bucks. Bucks win 1. Yeah, they have the tiebreaker, right? So again, I think the Bucks schedule it's not difficult going down the stretch, but you are going to play some good basketball. And Justin, you made a point, and I'll kind of conclude my thoughts for the night after this and move on to the game balls and everything. But Justin, the point that you made was the guys can play better. And again, tonight, if there wasn't a wake-up call before, tonight is the wake-up call. Tonight is 100% the wake-up call. And if you don't understand it after tonight, that things have got to get better, that you got to move forward, that you have to play that you have to play better. And again, you can't, like, Brook Lopez is better than that. Like, again, I know he's slow, and some of the things I kind of like the Giannis free throws. Brook Lopez can't help. He's going to be slow. He's just a slow player. Call him Slowpez. But he can play better than that. Gary Trent can play better than he played tonight. Giannis can play better defense than he played tonight. Kuzma can give better effort all over the floor than he gave tonight. I thought KPJ at times defensively lunched a little bit. Taurean Prince can be much better. You're going to get Bobby Portis back. You're going to get Jericho Sims back. Like, this team has the capability of playing better. Will they? Don't know. But they have to. And I guess I don't believe that. Yeah, you're gonna limp into the playoffs and flip a switch once we get into mid-deep April. I don't think that's gonna happen either. I don't believe that to be a viable scenario. So I am looking for these next 8 games or 9. I don't know, 8 or 9 games, whatever it is. I am looking for this team to be. Is it 9 or 8? Is it my number? I don't know. You need to be, if it's 9, you need to be 6-3, 7-2. 8 games. You need to be 6-2. You need to be 6-2 in these 8.
Type of belief.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For the hope and belief of, for me to even fake, hey, we can go beat the Knicks. Yeah. But because last thing I say is this: we were like 2 weeks. We are 2 weeks prior from being like, oh, this team has. Now this is before the Dame injury, everything. But it was like 2 weeks ago. We were just talking. These things change so quickly in the NBA. So it is what it is. I mean, that's where I'm gonna leave it tonight. And again, I'll just say this: Tuesday night against the Phoenix Suns, you're on TNT. You lost this team off some bullshit. You cannot. There are no must-wins NBA. At this point in the season, and until you get to the playoffs, this is as close to a must-win for the Bucks. Like, you cannot lose this game. You cannot lose Tuesday on TNT to the Phoenix Suns. Can't do it.
Yeah, and it's 5 straight. That'd be 5 straight.
4 in a row. Yes.
That'd be 5 straight. It would be unacceptable at that point. A team that really has, I mean, a little bit. Do they have anything to play for right now, Phoenix? I don't know. But regardless, it's a broken basketball team. Somebody in the chat said KD just got hurt, sprained his ankle. Like, you can't lose.
Oh, did he get hurt?
Yeah, somebody said
that.
Wow,
like,
okay. Especially so now, considering that news, especially you got to beat the Phoenix Suns. And then just looking at this, like, okay, I don't know where the chips lay, but if you play Detroit in the playoff, like, those last 2 games of the regular season are going to be very important to win. Like, that's when you're talking about direct seeding. Like, seeding that really has an impact on you. So, yeah, I mean, when I look at this last stretch, it's like the basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team has to figure it out. Knowing that you don't have Dame, and I'm sure obviously they know where Dame is at, if he's going to be able to come back. If not, like, they know best. And so you have to kind of compensate for what he's not going to bring this basketball team. And so those guys that we talk about, Ryan Rollins, KPJ, got to step up. Bobby Portis will come back at some point during this stretch, right? So he's going to have to show that he can change this team in the best way he can. I mean, I don't know how much he helps this team advance in the playoffs, but maybe I don't know. Maybe he makes some impact in some games. So we got to see a little bit of that in that 8-game stretch. Like, this is going to be an important one for Bucks fans, for my sanity, for everybody else on this podcast, and the fans and the viewers of our show. It's going to be very important for the sanity of us because, again, like I said in my first segment, I'm not going to have much to be optimistic about is if this is the kind of effort you're going to have after losing 3 straight.
Nah, so the way I look at the last 8 games, I don't even look at them because, like, I'm so concerned with this team beating the Phoenix Suns and KD just getting helped back to the locker room with a sprained ankle doesn't really move me because we've seen guys be down that kill us and do this and do that, and someone else, insert name here, has stepped up and had a career game against us. We had one tonight. We've seen this completely different roster, but we saw this team lose to a Memphis Grizzlies team last year with a bunch of dudes who, hell, half of them aren't even in the NBA anymore. And I understand that a different year is not the same roster, but just anything can go down in this league. Cade, to get to your point about battling for this 5th seed, Cade Cunningham has a calf injury. And I think we've seen with Giannis and what we've seen with Dame now, and not saying that the guy has blood clots or anything like that, but calf injuries are some of the hardest things to come back from. They're like hamstrings. And I'm not saying that is a reason that we're going to get the 5 or anything like that. At the bottom of the line, these Bucks have to play better basketball. If you're not going to play better basketball, you're going to continue to lose. Giannis will just have to do better. It's just no way around it. And I would, from everybody that's left in this NBA, if I'm looking for one guy to kind of lead me through the battle of the bullshit back to where we're supposed to be, I'm going to look for 34 to do it. But it has to get better, man. You know, it just has to. I mean, I don't have any other analysis for this game other than I'm so pissed. Yeah, F it, get better.
I just saw the KD injury. Yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, he prayers up for him. I don't know. Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat say that he might have just played his last game in his son's uniform. He will. I ain't no doctor, but he is not going to play.
We should beat them by 20 points. I'm going in with that expectation. You should beat the hell out of that team.
Yeah. And to Justin's point again, and this is why when I hear, I'm just say Todd, but Todd's not the only person. But anybody who's saying, "Well, it's over," Jalen, what did we just talk about? Jalen Brunson rolled his ankle. KD rolled it. In a blink of an eye, we just went from, damn, I don't know, it's going to be a tough game. It's a must-win, got to win it. I just saw that. Okay, we should win by 20. That's how Kay Cunningham, calf issue. What have we seen with a calf issue with Giannis? The entire Pacers series changed once Giannis went out with the calf and he wasn't coming back. The entire series changed once Dame went out with the calf and wasn't coming back last year in Indiana. The entire tenor of the Milwaukee Bucks franchise changed once Chris Middleton had double ankle surgery. Y'all are not, again, the entire tenor, let's be honest, a tenor of a series changed in Brooklyn when Kyrie went down and when Harden went down. I'm not saying that you can't bank on injuries, but injuries happen. And am I going to sit here and that, double why 2021 is, you ain't getting no injury excuse. We got guys out too. That's what happens. That is what happens. That's the NBA. So that's why you go out there, you put your best foot forward, and you try to win basketball games. Because I have no clue if Karl-Anthony Towns is gonna mess his calf up, or if somebody's gonna get. We had no clue Damian was gonna have a blood clot this year. You never know what's going to happen. So you go out there, you play basketball, and who knows how this thing ends up, and what injuries may take place. You're exactly right. I don't know. How long has Cade been out?
He's been, I think it's 3 games, and he's day to day.
Yeah. No, so, I mean, yeah. So, again, that's how do you think the Atlanta Hawks even got where they were supposed to be the year 2021, right? Like, they weren't all of a good basketball team. So, yeah, my point is, you play basketball, you see how this goes, and again, who knows, maybe going now again, you got to go beat them. But somebody said Gillespie is going to have a Colin Gillespie career game incoming, which may happen. But yeah, man, go out and beat these guys, man. You should have beat them last. You really had them on the ropes last time. They got bailed out again because Brook Lopez is slow as hell. But go out, man. Go out and beat these guys. Let's. You know how sometimes like AJ Green shooter, and you want to see the ball go on the rim, go in the basket. Same thing. Let's watch the ball. Let's see a win after you've lost 4 in a row. See one go down, and then you have Philly on Thursday, and let's see if you get 1 turns into 2, and see if that helped, man. Never forget there was a dude play football with me at Howard, and I can't remember, but point is there was this conversation going on, and somebody had like a really bad day. And he was talking to me. I'll never forget this conversation. And this guy's having a bad day, and he just tells him, pick it up, because what you don't want, some people have bad days and they turn into bad weeks. And your bad week can turn into a bad month, and your bad month can turn into a bad 2 months, and so on and so on. And you look back, and now you've had a bad year because you were dwelling too much on the one bad day you had. The Bucks have had a bad last 4 games, right? So they've had a bad last week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Let's not make that a bad month. And you can go, if you win these next 2 games, So let's just take it at that time. Phoenix, Philly. And again, doesn't mean anything for the future, doesn't mean anything for the past. Go beat those teams. And then let's reset from there, and let's keep making hay. As Marcus Johnson would say, I also think the Bucks are worse when Steve Novak's on the damn broadcast. But I don't know. Somebody gotta get the record what the Bucks are when Steve Novak's on the broadcast. But as Marcus Johnson would say, chop wood, carry water. That's all I got. Anything else you guys got to say after a drubbing tonight at home on Pride Night?
Sneak that in there. No, to me, yeah, I'll go real quickly. I think, to me, there's going to be moments throughout this last eight game stretch where you're thinking, okay, maybe this team has maybe found something without Dame on the court, as there was moments against the Nuggets where this team kind of hung around with a good team in the West. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to hold firm on my position, which is this kind of effort tonight is not going to get you far in the playoffs at all, if anywhere. So I've got to see a lot for that to change my opinion on that. You guys see this? March 30th, right now. If you don't show better effort, if you don't string together a lot of wins in this 8 game, I can't be optimistic going into the playoffs. Now, what that also allows is for us to be real happy if the Bucks do figure it out and get a win and get a ton of wins and then go into the playoffs and win a series. I just don't see that happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault you for your view on it. I just hope these dudes in the locker room are mentally tough enough to fight through this. You got to look in the mirror, and it has to be gut check time, man. One thing is all of us have played a sport in our life, and one thing you don't like is getting your ass whooped on your home field, course, ice, whatever the case may be. And these dudes got to want it just as much as we do. Shouldn't be me crashing out on the podcast because I'm so upset that we lost, and you got dummies in the chat talking about trade this dude and let's look at the 2-year plan, the 4-year plan. Hell, we got 8 games left in this season with 2 viable pieces coming back to this team. Another dude on the bench coming back. Dude's gotta want it. I know that Giannis wants it. That's one dude you'd never have to question his effort. I know Ajax will show up. He may not be able to do everything offensively we want him to do, but he's going to be there and he's going to try to run through a wall. I know Bobby Portis will do everything in his ability. Sometimes it ain't the best. I even think Brook Lopez wants it. I think Ryan Rollins wants it. I think Kevin Porter Jr. wants it. But you don't have to prove it to us. You ain't got to prove it to these fans. You got to prove it to each other in that locker room. And Doc, you got to coach better, which we know you can. We've seen it. But this is the same team that started 2-8. And then went on a crazy win streak. So why not start a win streak now?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Let's do it. And listen, man, it is what it is. Let's do game balls tonight. Tough night for game balls. You guys in chat, let us know, who are you giving a game ball to on a night like this? 145-124 Bucks losing to the Atlanta Hawks.
I at least appreciated the effort of KPJ in the fourth quarter. I know that we were down a whopping 26 points going into that fourth, so there was really no saving this Bucks team. But I will say I thought he did as much as he could to make it a respectable, and it wasn't even respectable, but almost. When we cut it to like 12 with about 5 minutes to go in that fourth quarter, that I at least appreciated that effort. That kind of KPJ will win us games. Going down the line, eight games left to play. If we get that, that'll be real good for this Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. So I'm gonna go KPJ.
AKA
this might be. Go ahead, sorry.
AKA
plea deal. AKA just playing overseas. Brought him back, revenge tour. AKA revenge tour.
This might be the first time ever on the show. I'm keeping my game ball. I'm not giving it to nobody. You get beat by that many points at home. You give that lackluster effort. I don't think anybody deserves a game ball, and I refuse to give it to a foul merchant.
You know me. You got to win to get in. And I'm going to go game ball to Zachary Ricochet. 36, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 12 of 21, 5, 11 for 3, 7 and 9 from the free throw line. He absolutely lit it up, was a plus 19 tonight. Killed the Bucks. So Ricochet, a.k.a. Mama call me Zach. I'm going to call him Zach, a.k.a. Ballin', a.k.a. Big Time Rook, a.k.a. Bucket low like bucket dough. And all the hoes want to know my name. That's my lay K.
That was good.
Appreciate it. Bucks lose at 145-124. Let's look around. Take a look around. My God.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, did you see Tish in the chat? She said KPJ post-game interview sounds like that some guys no longer believe in this team. Or the
well, I have not heard his what did he say? I mean, was it his body language? Was it did he say something that made you that gives you that impression? Interesting to hear that. But yeah, I haven't I didn't see it. So you guys let me know what actually was said. Hawks 145-124 over the Bucks. The Rockets, damn, at least we put up 124 to the Suns. 142-105 tonight. My goodness. Man, that is tough in Phoenix. Tough sledding in Phoenix. 142. It's actually 104. Right now, that game's still going on. 2 minutes left in that one. Cavs beat the Clippers 127-122. Knicks 110. Blazers 93. Warriors 148. Spurs 106. Pels 98. Hornets 94. Timberwolves 123. Timberwolves beat the Pistons. They had a big. You guys see that brawl? They had a big brawl out there in Minnesota. A little Malice in the Palace. I think it was in Minnesota though, but that was a Malice at the Target Center out there in Minnesota tonight. 123-104. They beat the Pistons again. For you glass half full people, keeps the Pistons in range for I'll say this: if the Bucks do get the 5 seed, remember tonight. Tonight was a game where the Pistons could have taken a 1.5 game lead over the Bucks they could have got a full game tonight in a 2.5 game lead. If the Pistons, so again, if you're a Pistons fan, again, you're playing with house money if you're a Pistons fan. You won 42 games this year. But if you wanted that 5 seed, you want that matchup with Indiana instead of a matchup with New York, which is the likely matchup 4-5 and 3-6. This is probably the night that you're looking at where you could have maybe sealed the deal on the Bucks. But the door is open, especially with the Bucks' next 2 games. Doors wide open for Milwaukee to get back in there and get that 5 seed. We'll see if they do it. Raptors beat the 76ers tonight as well. Anything else you guys want to get into with the with March Madness? Brewers getting slack. Are the Yankees cheating with these damn bats? Are these bad? Is this unfair? I don't know what's going on. But anything you guys want to get into, and we'll get up out of here.
No. After watching that, no. Allow them to go 145. Yeah, no. Elsewhere, I guess it's kind of cool seeing, all number 1 seeds in the Final Four. That's the first time since 2008, so that's cool. But outside of that, there's really nothing else I want it or have to get into. So tough loss tonight.
Yeah, we still got a shot to get our 4-1-4 showdown or whatever we want to call it with Bruce Pearl versus Calvin Sampson in that final. I think that's really the only thing that I got hope in for this bracket or any of this stuff. So shout out to whoever who's in the bracket challenge that's killing it. I haven't even looked at it because I'm so far down. As far as the Brewers, geez. After this, you go from Brewers to Bucks. We all going to need to drink some more water or drink whatever your choice is. Go to Curly's, get an Uber. Drink that brother out of alcohol so he has to go stock up tomorrow. But, hey, man, Tim Allen always tells us to smile, Milwaukee, because a smile, it'll be a better day tomorrow. So, gosh darn if we don't need to smile now.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. Todd is just ever doom and gloom. Says we are quickly turning to the Herb Cole Bucks. It's just not true. That's not true. Just make the playoffs at the expense of never getting better. Again, no. The reason I'm not going to do that is, again, their injuries are not the same. I can agree. And Tish is saying, oh, this hasn't been this bad since 15, 16. That may be fine, but you can't. You also cannot deny the impact of injuries on this team. Like so, the Herb Cole Bucks. This is not the same as the Herb Cole Bucks when Damian Lillard, when your second best player, who again you could argue about what the fit was like, your second best player is out, and is probably not going to play in the playoffs. So again, I can't go there. That's not fair. In my opinion, to what's happening right now. No Stray says you got to make the rhyme. Malice the Pals. Somebody sharded in the target. Okay. Yeah. Let's work on that one. Let's see. Charles, go ahead.
Hey, ask No Strays about them Red Sox. How's that cooking for you? 3 out of 4 to the Rangers.
Oh yeah, it's the Rangers. Somebody in the chat was asking about why I just had a Rangers shirt on. His brother pitches for the Rangers. That's why they're asking about why you had the Rangers shirt on. But so that's why. Tish says hit the like button if this game is a gut punch. Yeah, no, if it's a gut punch, you hit that like button, please do. Daniel says we will rise. This is what Aaron Judge something thing there. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Man, Han Jackson says it's over after 3 games. It's crazy. There's a lot of baseball left, so let's not go there. So rough day for Milwaukee. Rough series for the Brewers. Rough game for the Bucks. Rough 4 games. So the Brewers and Bucks combined are 0 in their last 7. So it's rough right now. But like you said, sun comes out tomorrow. You little player over there. Like this is one of the ones where like when I was playing football, especially I was like so ready for the next, like when you lose a game like this is one where like you like, damn it, I could go out here like tomorrow and go play another one. Cause you want to get that tape. You couldn't wait for the next Saturday if you were at Howard. You could wait for the next Friday night in high school. Cause it's like, nah, you gotta, I need this back. I can't lose. I gotta get this back. And again, we're going to see a lot about this basketball team. I know you said KPJ said act like the team's up. We're gonna see. Because if you lose to Phoenix on Tuesday night, you talk about the crash out. We gonna crash. Well, I'm gonna crash out if we lose Tuesday night. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's it, man. I want to thank everybody for listening, watching tonight. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Again, if this is a gut punch, if this is a bad night for you, if the Bucks look like absolute garbage tonight, hit that like button, please, and follow, like, subscribe, all that. Tell a friend, tell another friend about the Cream City crossover. This is the best Milwaukee Bucks post-game show in all of the land. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, we did interview Sidney Moncrief. We didn't talk about it. We did interview Sidney Moncrief over the last week. That will drop. I think officially the entire thing will drop on Wednesday. So the Sidney Moncrief interview will drop on Wednesday. Myself, Justin, Chris, excellent job. You guys did a great job. Justin, thank you especially for getting Sidney Moncrief onto the program, onto the Cream City crossover. So this is a Hall of Fame post-game show. This is Cream City. This is a Hall of Fame show that we have here. We bring this is where, let me tell you, that could be our new moniker, where it's Cream City crossover, where Hall of Famers come to talk ball. That's what we do. None of that other mess going on. We got Hall of Famers in here. Yeah, so that's about it. Look out for that on Wednesday. Appreciate everybody. Could have been in the world, but you're here with us. Want to appreciate our sponsors tonight, of course. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out in Pewaukee, Lakeview Boulevard out there, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Get out there, enjoy some beer, enjoy some good food, enjoy everything. $3 bottles and pints on Tuesday night at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Tell them that the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City crossover sent you. That is Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar, proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Tish says we can't troll the other fan base right now. Yeah, we can. I control Phoenix all day. I can. No, we ain't the Phoenix Suns. I tell you that. We ain't the Phoenix Suns. So I can't troll. I don't. That's what I'm thinking. Listen, I ain't dribbling that one basketball, man. I'm okay. I can go to sleep with my head held high. However you want to say it.
At least we'll at least we'll be in the playoffs.
Right.
At least we'll be there. At least you guys will get 4 extra, at least at minimum, Cream City crossover post game shows in the playoffs, and hopefully many more.
Not only that, but if in Phoenix, you may not even like they might not even make the play in.
Yeah,
They
that's
might
what I'm
need-
saying.
that's
Like
crazy.
it may be for those Phoenix Suns post games, it may be cooked. Like they may be
Yeah.
starting the offseason. They may be starting
Yeah.
draft talk. At least we're not doing that soon.
Yeah.
We
No,
might
we
be
not there.
pretty quickly, but it's not going to be that soon.
We live to fight another day, and my goodness, I don't want to talk draft with John Horst, but okay. Rick Hamilton says no Frosties tonight from Wendy. Yeah, no Frosties from Wendy's tonight. No chili. What's it? Chili? Didn't they get chili? Was that what it is?
No, free Frosty for the
Free
win.
Frosties for the win. What happens with the chili? I thought you got chilies or something too.
They used to be green and growing days where they.
Oh, okay. No chilies. Okay, I thought it was chili. My bad. Yeah, I ain't been in Milwaukee in a minute. Hunt Jacqueline says, I will watch Jabari Parker highlights to reminisce and think about what could have been. Yeah, that would have been pretty special. I'll think about Giannis and Jabari on fast breaks. A lot of talent there, but didn't work out for Jabari. Just tough for him. That's it for us tonight. Everybody, again, we want to appreciate it. We'll be back Tuesday night against the Phoenix Suns. Hopefully coming to you after a win on TNT. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Group. I'll start.
Chris King.
Justin.
Hey, if I am your enemy, it is only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels. Courage.